Have you ever felt like you had incredible potential but kept getting tripped up by your own weaknesses? Today we're diving into one of the most dramatic stories ever told, the story of Sampson and Delilah. It's a tale of superhuman strength, passionate love, devastating betrayal, and ultimately, incredible redemption. Samson's story starts before he was even born. An angel appears to his mother and tells her she's going to have a son who will be a Nazirite, someone set apart for God. His mission? To begin freeing Israel from their oppressors, the Philistines. From day one, Samson was marked by purpose. And his strength? It became legendary. We're talking about a guy who tore a lion apart with his bare hands, defeated an entire army with nothing but the jawbone of a donkey, and carried the gates of a city on his shoulders. This strength wasn't just physical. It was a symbol of what God could do through a person totally dedicated to him. But here's the twist. Alongside this incredible power, Samson was also deeply human. He was impulsive, quick to anger, and driven by his desires, making him emotionally vulnerable. He was a paradox of divine strength and human weakness. Then she enters the picture. Delilah, the Philistines, desperate to neutralize their greatest enemy, see an opportunity. They approach Delilah and offer her a fortune, an obscene amount of money, if she can uncover the secret to Samson's great strength. So Delilah begins her mission. She wraps Samson in her charm and starts asking, "Tell me the secret of your great strength." 3 times, Samson lies to her. He tells her if he's tied with new bowstrings, he'll be weak. She tries it, it fails. He says if he's tied with new ropes, his strength will vanish. She tries that too, and he breaks them like thread. Each time he plays along. But this dangerous game reveals a critical flaw. Samson is emotionally entangled with someone who is actively working to destroy him. He's choosing temporary affection over his life's calling. This is where the story reaches its breaking point. Delilah doesn't give up. The Bible says she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed to death. She wore him down, not with force, but with emotional and psychological pressure. Finally, exhausted and heartbroken, Samson gives in. He reveals the truth, the core of his Nazirite vow. No razor has ever touched my head. If my hair is cut, my strength will leave me, and I will become weak, like any other man. This wasn't just about his hair. It was about his covenant with God, his identity, his very purpose. By revealing his secret, he was surrendering his deepest vulnerability. And just like that, Delilah sees her chance. She lulls Samson to sleep on her lap, calls on a man to shave his 7 locks of hair, and then shouts, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." He wakes up, expecting to break free as he always had. But this time it's different. His strength is gone. The Lord had left him. The Philistines seize him, gouge out his eyes, and chain him up in a prison, forcing him to grind grain like an animal. In this moment, Samson's physical blindness becomes a tragic mirror of the emotional and spiritual blindness that led him there. He had eyes but couldn't see the danger right in front of him. Now he has no eyes, and for the first time he starts to truly see. But the story doesn't end in darkness. In that prison, grinding away in humiliation, something begins to shift. Samson's hair, the symbol of his vow, starts to grow back. More importantly, his heart starts to turn back to God. His dependence shifts from his own strength to God's mercy. Months later, the Philistines hold a massive celebration in honor of their god, Dagon, for delivering Samson into their hands. They bring the blind Samson out into the temple to entertain the crowds, to be mocked and ridiculed. He's positioned between the 2 central pillars supporting the entire temple. And there, surrounded by thousands of his enemies, Samson prays one last desperate prayer. "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just one more time." With a final surge of divinely restored strength, he places his hands on the pillars and pushes with all his might. The temple collapses, killing more Philistines in his death than he had in his entire life. This final act wasn't just revenge, it was redemption. It was the story of a broken man who, in his lowest moment, found his way back to God. Samson's story teaches us that strength without wisdom is fragile, And purpose without character is vulnerable. But it also shows us that no failure is final. Even when we fall, even when we feel like everything is in ruins, God's grace is big enough to meet us there and rebuild what was broken. Your story isn't over. Thanks for watching, and if this story resonated with you, make sure to follow for more.